take you through HTML for absolute beginners. If you've been there, you've been wondering how to begin coding. You've always been told HTML is the basis of everything. So here we go. Today I start with HTML and I will show you all you need to achieve it. So basically when you talk about HTML, all you need to know is you're going to interact with a browser and what we call a code editor. And for this case I will go online. So in this case we shall use Visual Studio Code and Google Chrome. So there are some other web browsers like Brave, Firefox, Opera. Any web browser can work, but I mostly recommend Google Chrome and Brave for some reasons. At this point I assume you already have Google Chrome installed on your PC or any other browser. So we shall head to our browser. We type Visual Studio Code, and at this point you look for the first site, that is visualstudio.com, and here you download your desired, whether you're using Windows. I'm using Windows for this case, and it's most times it is automatically detected. So in case you're using Windows, you can proceed and download. I will pause this because I don't need it, I already have it. But after downloading, you can then go ahead and install, and on installation, after installation, you'll have something like this. First of all, I'll remove this. Okay, it's okay. After installation, I'll just head direct to our web. I'll just kickstart. So when I come to this is the folder we shall be using, and at this point I will create our first folder. That's going to be our first site. I can call it first site with HTML. And at this point, after you installing, when you right click, you come and say show more options. You've got open with code, that is the Visual Studio Code, and then you have an interface. It may be different from this, but then because it may be your first time to use that, so it will bring something to do with the environment and all that, but then that's not a big deal. You can dive into this. So first, before anything else, there are extensions I would recommend and settings I would recommend in Visual Studio Code to ease development and to help you cope up faster with the learning. So you come here onto this, you've got extensions. You can look for what we call live server, and live server by Retreat Day, that is what you need. Click on that and say install. I have it already installed. After this, I'll proceed to settings, and I will look for settings. We have what we call autosave. So autosave helps us to automatically save every change we do without you necessarily saving. So I'll come and say, suppose you have off, which is the default, so you can change it to on focus change, and that is Okay, so what happens is that is all you need. And the other thing is auto completion, but then I'll dive into that later. First we need to get the basics. We need to get it for all of it from scratch. So first, after setting up our IDE, that is the integrated development environment, which is the Visual Studio Code, we shall go on and proceed to create our very first site. So I'll come here, I say new file, I'll call it index. It means this is the main page on your website, so I'll say index.html. I press enter, so we have something like this. Without wasting time, I'm going to show you how to use shortcuts to ease everything. If you're an absolute beginner, as you'll cope up with this very fast. So when I press shift and 1 on my PC, I'm using Windows, and press enter, I'll get the HTML structure or the skeleton of HTML. You don't need to hard code all these, because we are looking at time saving and looking at how fast we can do the development. So when I do that, I have this, and the next thing will be this is my structure. It is simple. It is made up of a head and a body plus the HTML housing the head and the body. And then this is defining the language we are using, that is the N, that is English. And in the head we've got meta tags. We can do away with this, we can leave that anyway, but what we can look at mostly is the title. The title appears under you, it appears on top of your browser as you load your website. I'll first go online and we see how this is. So after installing, remember we installed the live server, and the moment you install the live server, you have something like this here called live server, and it's like go live. So when I click go live, this is what I have. I have something blank, but then you see this here, it is showing document, and that is the title we have here. We can change it to maybe my site, and when we say my site, I come back, you find that this is the heading I have. So that's the heading the title, sorry, in the heading, in the head. So what happens is our entire website is going to be within this body. So whatever we write will be in our body. We don't need to write it outside or anywhere, it will be inside the body. And to begin, I'll begin with simple tags. That is the P tag. When you open, you press P, you close this, you get something like that. That's the P tag, and you can say my first HTML website, the P tag. This remember the autosave we extension we installed, it will help us not to always keep saving, so it automatically saves. So when I go back, you find that I have my first paragraph called my first HTML website. To proceed with this, after the P tag, I've got what we call the H tag. So when I open this, I say H1, I do this, I say heading 1. These are different headings, and you find that I have that is heading 1. They run up to 6. I can say h2. I say heading, I say heading 2. I say h3, and this is heading 3. I say h4. This is heading 4. h5. This is heading 5. h6. This is heading 6. So you find that they vary in size. You find that h1 is the biggest and h6 is the smallest. So those are the p tag and the headings. So at one point we have what we call the role, and when I say p and I say lorem 100, it generates 100 words randomly. So when I press enter, it brings all this, and this is it. It is like a paragraph. In case you want to use some words, a big paragraph as to help you structure out something, so you can use the lorem. Then before we go any further, we need what we call commenting. Commenting is like deactivating some of the things in our website. What happens is I can come to this heading, so I'll just bring the cursor in front of it. I press Ctrl and this Ctrl, I don't know, okay, Ctrl and the slash. I think you can't see my keyboard, but we can use this to uncomment. Okay, to comment in VS Code. Okay, to comment in VS Code, it is Control and okay, it is Control plus the stroke, that is the slash key combination. And on Linux or on the command line, that's on Mac, on Linux that is command plus slash. I think we can get it, the button before your shift if you're using Windows. That is for those using Windows. But then that is it. You find that we have h1, h2, h3, h4. h5 is commented out and it will never appear on our site, so that is deactivating. I can deactivate this as well. I can just highlight all this, shift and that, so you find that I'll have commented it out and it will go off. That is commenting. We can undo, Ctrl Z and proceed. So we are going to look at how to insert images into the site, in case we want to insert images. So what happens is I'll first go back, look for a certain image somewhere here. Let me use, what can I use? Let me use this. I copy this image. I'll go to our folder where our site is, my first site with HTML, and inside this I can create a folder and I call it photos. Then I can paste this image. So when I come here, when I open, I say img and close. Open img. I just press enter, close. So an image has got what we call a source. Source always defines where the image is coming from in our folder. Where is the image located? So when I say source, And then I have what we call alt. Alt is an alternative text in case that image cannot be seen on the site. Let's say it was an image of a shoe. I can say this is shoe, and let's say I've not loaded it yet and it is empty. So when I come onto the site, instead of the image, I'll get the alternative text, which is shoe. And the moment I load the image, I'll be in position to get the image. So our image is in this folder called photos. So I'll come here, I say slash. It is like navigating to navigating.